numbers, just to give a bit of perspective, is that this year's budget is capped at 3.68 trillion.
Right.
That is excluding the 850 billion debt redemption that needs to be sorted out. So that is going towards the Eurobond, which is maturing. It was a debt that was taken in 2014. So basically, what's happening is that if you include the debt redemption together with the 3.68 trillion to bring the total budget to about 4.45 trillion Kenya shillings. But now the key highlights, even as the CS's address is going on currently,
right?
The youth are winning big on this one.
Okay.
Just want to start with the key highlights. There's 630 billion national government expenditure that has been targeted towards education. A part of this, 25.5 billion has been allocated to Judicial Service, of course, Commission capitation, which is going to about 15 billion. That will now have, people access justice easier and operationalize judicial services. Number 3 is we have doubled the HELB allocation from 15 billion Kenya shillings to 30 billion Kenya shillings, which means comrades will now have more money, more headroom to borrow, more HELB money.
Yes.
Yeah, so education, I think, will be more accessible. And then 250 billion Kenya shillings allocated towards roads and ongoing projects. And then that is a big surprise currently, especially in the budget. And of course, I know we're going to talk about the surprises of this one of this budget this year.
Yes.
Then another very important thing to note is that 5 billion shillings is going towards fertilizer subsidy. Okay. Remember, this is also another surprise because the president has been reiterating his position on not providing subsidies. But we are seeing this budget keen on, repairing done with the drought.
Okay.
The worst drought we've seen in 40 years.
Correct.
So one of those big shocks that really interrupted so many things. And so we are seeing a medium-term fix towards this. And we love the fact that 25 billion, or rather 5 billion, will be going towards fertilizer subsidy, given the globally, given the I'm losing bit of network. So given the falling global prices of fertilizer,
right?
So the fertilizers will be much more cheaper for the farmers to access and be able to, restore the country's food security situation. Moving on swiftly, 25 billion oil subsidy for clearances of either pending bills that were there or the subsidies that were pending in the previous regime.
Yes.
The other administration announced that but never paid it. There was a bit of politics.
Okay.
And then they've also allocated 2 billion shillings to finish up 181 stalled markets in around the country. So there's going to be a lot of construction work to complete the stalled markets.
Absolutely.
That's a very good move to also look at. And then they've also allocated 4.7 billion conditional grants to counties to establish 47 aggregation industrial parks across all the counties. This is aimed at providing jobs. Basically, if you've been hearing about special economic zones, that is what this fund really seeks to have. And then they've also allocated 1 billion for the construction of 21 KMTCs, Kenya Medical Training Colleges. And then Hustler Fund will get an extra 10 billion Kenya shillings. As of today, the CS is saying that the Hustler Fund has disbursed up to 30 billion shillings worth of loans.
Okay.
So with another 10 billion allocated towards it, it's going to, improve that fund. And of course, that means more credit for people to borrow and be able to, do business. That is for the hustlers. And then they've doubled the number of interns that are employed in the Public Service Commission from 4,000 to 8,000. That's another job number of job skills for the young people.
That's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, and then of course they have an income, taxable income that is definitely going towards them. And then school feeding program, which has been allocated 5 billion shillings.
Yes.
And those are some of the highlights of today's budget.
All right.
Reading.
Maybe you can also touch on the allocations to the counties.
So counties will be allocated 385 billion Kenya shillings this year for two main reasons.
Okay.
One is that Of course, they need to sort out a lot of pending bills. And then, the services like health, agriculture have been devolved.
Yes.
And so those are functions that sit with the county government. So definitely there is need to hasten action towards those areas. Governors have been crying foul of they don't have money to move services, and also there's a lot of pending bills in the counties. So definitely those are a keen eye to watch. But also still on the pending bills, I think the current portfolio is at about 532 billion Kenya shillings. So what the government is currently doing is that they've formed a commission of inquiry that is going to verify all the pending bills. What did you supply? How much was it worth? How much does the government owe you? Then they pay up. From the submissions of the Finance and Planning Committee earlier on, when we were covering them, they told us that the pending bills are going to be sorted latest September. Once the funds have been released, and then that will be it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brian. Georgia, you're very busy. You're covering the budget, and in our subsequent bulletins, of course, on NTV and on digital, you're going to be giving further updates. I wish you well as you cover. It's a busy day for you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for dropping by.
Yeah, sure. I'm always glad to inform Kenyans.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That, of course, is Brian George, business reporter with NTV, giving us a breakdown of the key highlights that we need to take note of from the budgets. I am, sort of surprised and happy because we've got 1 billion allocated to 21 more KMTCs to be constructed. Also, something very interesting is, youth winning big. You've heard Brian talk about help being doubled, and the number of interns working with the government has doubled as well, from 4,000 to 8,000. So basically, yes, this is going to put a smile on so many youths' faces. So what do you think about this? How do you feel about this? What's your reaction to the budget? I would love